So look, and they are going to start. Anthony, the centerpiece, Victor Wembanyama. 2 games to 1. Game 2, they were terrific, and they controlled the turnover story. They get in the paint right here, Vassell, and then put in with
discipline inside of their aggression, right? Can they continue to play downhill? Can they continue to push or make some misses before Minnesota defense gets set?
Fox to the Western Conference Finals, 2 consecutive seasons. A turnover, Fox on the lead over McDaniels, who rejects the shot.
And right there, Minnesota relying heavily on Jaden McDaniels, known for his defense and making plays like that, but offense. Jaden McDaniels got in foul trouble in both games, getting back by himself.
It's Castle and Wembanyama up high.
Johnson talked about one thing that's a little underrated from Wemby is his screening angle. I think a lot of people look at a big come to set a screen, but it's the angle that set screens at, which allows for them to be able to roll and get to the basket. As Wemby blocks the shot at the top of the rim.
Wembanyama had 12 blocks in game 1, a couple in game 2, led the league in that category. Here he goes, and his fellow Frenchman Gobert up and off with the rebound by McDaniel.
And Wemby has had, can we call it issues, as Ant Edwards gets to the free throw line, but Wemby playing against a fellow Frenchman.
In a little over 4 games, he's on a record pace. He just picked up his first.
Be able to make the adjustments on the fly with what the defense is throwing at him. You know, just even talking about him coming across half court, knowing they're going to trap him, now moving to the middle of the floor and not allowing himself to be on the sideline.
Castle up top, left free to fire. The 3 no good. Rebound corralled by Mike Conley. And back to Edwards. In the regular season, the 3rd leading scorer in the NBA, but he has struggled here. He led these 2 teams has been one of the storylines so far. Wembanyama up top. He'll set up and over Gobert, who has done a good job in defending the outside shooting of Wembanyama. For Minnesota, here comes McDaniels. The cutting Randall, and into Gobert, and back to Randall, and tap by Wembanyama.
Well, you see the impact of Wemby on that play, deterring shots, making shots difficult, and then on the other end, getting an and one and going to his bench to get some love.
Oh, it's so important.
McDaniels just picked up his first personal foul, and that is a real problem for Minnesota.
Yeah, Ken, as you talked about it, you know, obviously he played 19 minutes last game, and as Coach Finch said, it's one of the best 19 minutes that was played of anybody that's on the Minnesota team, but they need him on the floor. They need him to be a little smarter on the defensive end of the floor.
Here comes Fox behind the back in a congested lane. It's picked up and put in, and Devin.
Can Minnesota match the physicality of the Spurs? Thus far, the Spurs have imposed their will early in this game.
Minnesota with another miss. And here comes Champagnie looking for Castle. The athletic catch. Gobert swats it away. Wembanyama got a hand on it. It's out of bounds as the Timberwolves have started up and getting that.
Do you speak French?
A little bit.
So
I wish I could flex, but I can't.
It's Conley in the corner and a 3 on the way. And reeled in by Wembanyama. The fleet-footed Fox. And knocked out of bounds.
So much energy, so much intensity that you can tell that Denver was going to have to go and worry about the next game. They haven't come out with that same intensity and energy in this one.
Wembanyama working on Gobert. And making quick. Antonio's first 11. And Minnesota coming out flat. Games with a heel injury, or at least as a full participant. He tried to play the other night.
3, they just hooping. They don't know fear, and that's the good part about inexperience sometimes.
Naz Reid is coming off the bench as well as the Timberwolves make 2 substitutions. Another rebound for Wembanyama already with 5. Colliding into Randall. Gobert is off the floor. Minnesota has gone small, and it's Vassell for 3. With the rebound clutched onto by Edwards. McDaniels attacking and over Wembanyama. Tough shot, altered on the play. Rebound Vassell. And then Castle losing it. Retrieves it, and Fox, where they're trying to get in that paint every chance they get. Attack, attack, attack.
How do they understand what works for them? And that's what you want to see. You want to see a team that knows what success looks like, as Minnesota is just trying to get something going right now. But they understand what works for them, Kevin. Get it to the basket. It works for all those guys. You got Castle. You have Fox. You also have Dylan Harper. Those guys make the game easier for everyone else outside of Wemby.
Minnesota has started 0 of 9. Reed. Fox. Wembanyama.
Are we watching a guy have impact on every single possession? Wemby did not get the block, but deters more shots than anybody I've ever seen in this league.
There's a 3-try by Champagnie, the #1 3-point shooter in the playoffs, and a turnover by Minnesota. And Wembanyama is picked up by Jaden McDaniels and doubled by Dosunmu, and Vassell for 3. And a rebound by Reed.
Well, that's what you do a little bit, too, when Wemby's down there, Ken, is you try to force it a little bit when you see opportunities, and Minnesota turning the ball over on that last drive, trying to get that opportunity before Wemby can get back. So he
Spurs. Wembanyama remains. Randall's on him. Johnson. And there's a lunging Randall coming off a 21-point game 2. Chiseling his way in the paint with a fake. And outside, it'll be a 3. Down the hole it goes. Keldon Johnson, the 6th-man award winner in the NBA.
Well, once again, 2 feet in the paint, and it allows for everyone else to get going.
Another miss. Finally, they get going with the tap in by Rudy Gobert.
And the crowd is sitting on their hands just waiting for a play to explode. If you're the home team, you've got to get this team and this crowd involved in this game early.
Vassell doesn't make the 3. Anthony Edwards the other way. Reed. Cornette waits, 3 around him defensively. Just see them swarm. There is no place to go.
And as a result of Wemby's impact early, the ball stuck. And it's apparent on the...
Started 3 games in a row with all the injuries. DiVincenzo out for the season, torn Achilles. Vassell inside, in close, and overdose Sumu.
And with Wemby out of the game, their package is a lot of away screens. They're going to utilize their guards, the talent. You see Dylan Harper in there with those away screens that Vassell scored on.
It's a steal. It's picked up by Johnson. Trying to get through the trailing Castle, up, hit high, fouled on the play by...
To be a magnet to a screen.
Castle in game 2 is 9 of 9, and game 3. And tomorrow on ABC, it'll be out. For more on these games, go to NBA.com or visit the NBA app. Shannon drives, corner, Dosunmu no with the 3, with the rebound, yanked down by Johnson. And now Dylan Harper driving into Shannon, up high for Cornette. Bad path and a bad heel, and Reed a 3. Triple. His first basket tonight, and a timeout.
Shoulder, and he's still the same guy, man. I love that.
18-6 San Antonio has led from the get-go. They were up early. And they've held on, going in. Johnson out to Vassell. Met by Shannon. Shot clock at 3. On top is Harper, the rookie. Shannon there on the switch. Heaves it away. Minnesota
Have an advantage, Candace, and it's called this crowd. They have to make sure that they're doing things like that to get this crowd involved in the game. We couldn't hear ourselves last game. It was so last time we were here. Like that.
Tied by Gobert. And a terrific feed to get him in that position. Johnson, Cornette. And back to Keldon. And they'll set with De'Aaron Fox. Reed is there. Edwards has come in for McDaniels. 5 to fire. In goes Keldon Johnson. It's picked up by Dosunmu. Minnesota now is in another gear. It's Gobert from Shannon. On top, Edwards here. Castle will defend. It's a 2. And Minnesota's got their first lead tonight.
And Ant at 60%. Well, give me 60%, because he looks like he has a pep in his step, especially to end that first quarter and to start the second.
He's 60. Sorry, Ken. He's 60% when the ball's not going to the basket. When the ball's going in, you feel nothing.
Here comes Anthony Edwards, and Fox is there with the fadeaway. McDaniels tips it. Minnesota controls. Naz Reed. In 13 minutes time.
Well, Kevin, Minnesota started 1 of 15 from the field.
Whoa.
Right there.
Backpedaling Wembanyama.
Can't stop.
When you're Minnesota and you have a guy similar to the Spurs, they have Wemby, a guy that they know what he's going to bring every game, and so it brings confidence. When you have a guy that Jaden McDaniels gets into this game, another Anthony Edwards penetrate like that, the confidence that it gives you and your team is the confidence that you're going to need to win this game tonight.
Castle drives on Reed. Castle with 5. Edwards, Reed, and it's Shannon for 3. At the rebound, grabbed onto for the first time in the game, Harrison Barnes, the veteran, in his 14th NBA season. Fox, Wembanyama. Over Shannon the pass, and it sits right out of bounds with a turnover.
Especially in game 2, is being able to stop the Spurs from playing so fast.
Jaden McDaniels, and he felt Wembanyama. Here's the driving Randall. The kick, Reed, 3. Wembanyama the rebound. He's got 6. With Fox, the stutter step and the drive into Shannon. Champagny 3, the #1 3-point shooter in these playoffs, had that ball tipped on the shot. And Edwards with Castle there. The ball rotation. Reed hard to the hole. Knocked away, Wembanyama, and the collision with Reed, and both hit the deck. Presented by FanDuel, that rattles in the Wolves by.
It steadies you, and so this team right here, they go down early, but
4-point lead is the biggest for the Timberwolves, who trailed early on by 15 in the first. Fox to the rim.
And we're going to see 2, which kind of set the tone on the offensive end for the Spurs.
Carter Bryant is checked in for San Antonio. The ball rotation, Reed in the corner. The fake and a floater on the fly. And a rebound by Wembanyama. And it's Fox. And Castle in the corner. Harrison Barnes, great feed. The collision and a foul. And in the playoffs so far this year for the Spurs, he's averaged off games in NBA playoff history. Reed got the miss. Minnesota with Randall. Bryant on him. Driving into the rookie. Dosumu across the lane. Wembanyama alters the shot and takes it the other way.
every shot around the rim with Wemby's there, their shot has been released quicker than they have wanted it to, and it had led to a lot of misses because they're not able to finish the way that they're normally finishing what they practice every day.
Castle had to work hard into the defense of Dosumu. And here go the Wolves. 15 points for Edwards, defended by the veteran Barnes. A long two. Rebound Wembanyama. He's got 9 of them. And Castle and Fox. They'll set up. It's a 3 and a rebound by Edwards. And taken by Castle. Bryant, he'll launch a 3. Got it.
And those are the extra hustle plays right there. Finds the corner, which has kind of been the theme of this game. The corners have been the outlet for both teams.
There's the blitz at Edwards. In the corner, Randall with a 3. And a flying McDaniels has the ball. Randall choke hammers it home. Play. Castle, Wembanyama, too easy. Timeout. Nope, it's a foul and a shove into Player of the Year award a bit earlier.
And it's interesting, 7-footer out there and might have his way in the paint.
Dylan Harper's checked in for the Spurs. Here's McDaniels. Shannon with a 3. McDaniels with a rebound. Dosumu will control. It's Randall driving hard. The collision in the feed. Dosumu. The Timberwolves began 1 of 15, then they went 10 of 12. Since they've gone 1 of 9, Randall forcing the issue off balance, contorts, crashes, foul.
And they've really made a concerted effort to get downhill.
You're right about the way it began, where it is now.
Has had his way, 15 points in the paint thus far, early, because the other French center is on the bench, but you're countering that by being able to play faster.
Harper on top. Shot clock at 2. Bryant the 3.
To this game, but they need him on this offensive end like he just did last play. Put your head down, put that shoulder into somebody's chest, and go up and obviously try to get to the foul line, but make that basket, man. They need him to be able to be the player that Julius Randle has been and definitely was in game one.
Reed picked up by Bryant for three.
Steady the Spurs offense.
Cornet is in for Wembanyama. The drive by Randle, the foul on the... And he gets it to go. The NBA join us as we honor America. Randle at the line. Minnesota 9 of 10 from the stripe. They shot 52% in game 2 in Texas. Fox will drive on Dosunmu, put on the brakes. 14-footer, slapped away. Fox retrieves. Spurs keep it alive. Vassell in the corner. Harper, 3, no. Gobert there to lasso that rebound. McDaniels, and again the defense right back there for the Spurs, the #1 defense in the playoffs. In the corner, McDaniels with a 3. He has been struggling with his three-point shooting in these playoffs.
Yeah, it's just 3 of 13 in these playoffs right here.
Fox picks up the foul.
He had the first defensive stop. He got into the ball, got the first defensive stop, and started the run. So the young man from Chicago, give him some credit for coming in and at least changing the outcome so far for Minnesota.
Keldon Johnson adjusts his 3rd personal foul for the Spurs. Again. Randle. It's a move by Shaq. So fast. And it's picked up on the play by Vassell. And a whistle.
You bite your bottom lip before you dunk. You know you should come with that energy.
How about the plus-minus with Harper on the floor as opposed to being on the bench in this series?
Dylan Harper making an impact. A guy that was drafted #2 overall in NBA draft has been patient this year watching fellow draft members perform, but when you're closing minutes in the playoffs, I'd rather that.
Any day. He's a plus, 21.5 when he's on the floor. Without him, they are plus 6.5, so that shows his impact as a young guy. And I love what Coach Johnson said. He talked about how Fox and Harper, as Castle gets into the paint and makes another shot, and Castle he's in their game, and they can also have success.
Driving McDaniels off that baseline.
Brunsons, the SGAs, where teams are not going to allow you to come down.
To be able to run something to Julius Randle, I think right now, him getting the ball out the three-point line, dribble between the legs, and then attacking. Yes, he can do that, but let's put him in attack situations already before he gets to that.
Reed has the rebound. Here comes Edwards. He's got 15. Wembanyama's got 15. They blitz him again. Reed on the wing. Against Cornets. The collision.
Showing our hands and just compete. You know, just be present, compete.
Really appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Kev.
Here comes Edwards. He's jousting with Vassell. The rebound by Castle.
Kevin, to your point about second chance, fast break points, Spurs 8 fast break points, 1 for 6. It's just a concerted effort of Minnesota understanding as Castle gets the early foul.
Picked up his 3rd, and Castle at the line for the Spurs.
In a big hands, and because of that, he's at the free throw line.
At 15, we've had 6 lead changes, 3 ties, and Minnesota Timberwolves led at one time by 4. It's Edwards with 19. He'll dance on Fox and fade away again, and the rebound by Castle.
And that's back-to-back mid-range shots for Anthony Edwards to start this half.
It's Vassell, who will take it on top, and Rudy is out there to defend. Wembanyama in the opposite corner. Across the lane, Castle with a nice move, a duck and a lean. A lot of contact, no call made, but they control the offensive rebound, and it's Vassell again. Working on Gobert. Baseline Fox into 2. Ball deflected. Edwards has it. Dosunmu on the fly. On the wing, Randle. Into Castle. Out to Edwards. In the corner, and they'll work it around. It's Dosunmu with a 3 and a Champagny rebound.
This turns out to be a pretty defensive half to start in the second half, as both teams are doing a great job of closing off the corners, something they struggled with.
Wembanyama tried to get it and then was shoved. And retaken at the other end by the Spurs. And Castle sets, fires three, good.
Looking at them every time. This is the second round of the playoffs. It's going to get more physical, and the refs are allowing you to get away with a little bit extra.
McDaniels rattles out. Dosunmu parachutes in, gets the ball. Gobert converts first.
Team led the NBA in field goal percentage in the regular season. 5 of 5, 10 points. Nice little floater.
Second chance points for Minnesota, 16-4, wide open. It's Wembanyama finally hitting from outside. He had struggled. A 15. And from three now, 1 of 2 this evening.
Wemby didn't have to show up Rudy like that. Rudy hit a 12-footer, and then Wemby gonna come back and shoot a 35-footer.
Look at the holding inside with Gobert.
A foul call right there.
Randall takes it, kicks it. With 5 to fire, McDaniels is... Gobert set the screen on the handoff to McDaniels. Works his way into the defense of Champagne.
Quietly putting together, a solid performance. He's the one guy that they know can get his shot off. Vassell shoots a long three. He's the one guy that can get his shot off versus anybody that's on the floor. Even Wemby, he shoots shots in the paint over Wemby, and so Jaden McDaniels is a guy that they're definitely going to need to get going down the stretch.
Here comes Randall. Champagne is there, and across the lane, leaning in, pulls the trigger, got the miss, shot on the play, down Wembanyama. And Wembanyama will find Castle. It's Devin Vassell, wide open lane, wow!
Woo. Oh my goodness.
Did you see Wemby start the offense and then get a flare screen? I know Shaq somewhere either smiling or hating for sure, because you see a big guy doing everything you wanted to do.
Edwards will work his way, snaking for 2 as he'll go in a congested lane. Here's Fox. Champagne, it's a 3. He's in his postseason. Reed around the screen. Nas sets up his triple. Good.
Off the break as
How about that?
people forget.
And they're going to need that. They're going to need more depth from Fox getting downhill, putting that pressure on the rim.
San Antonio has now missed 7 free throws tonight. Reed. Good pocket pass on the fly. Edwards with 23.
Ant doing a good job passing and cutting. The hardest thing if you're a superstar, you gotta continue to move off of the ball.
Penny in the corner. It's a 3 and a Gobert rebound.
Yeah, he allowed for San Antonio to deny him last game when he was off the ball, and so just great recognition right there by Ant-Man not to stay still, get the back up. Big 3 by Ayo.
Dosunmu drills the 3. Vassell other end. He knocks in a triple.
From downtown as both teams struggled in the first half from beyond the arc.
McDaniels comes a 3.
Each other not set on the defensive end of the floor. They're taking advantage of the opportunity to score quickly.
Fox twisting, firing, no. Rebound, hustle play. Vassell vacuums it in. Fox 3, yes. Timeout taken. Back in 3 different players. Shannon is in. Now to Edwards. Cutting his Reed on top Gobert. And Cornette comes out on him. Dylan Harper's in. Screen by Gobert. Step back 3 by Edwards. Rebound Gobert. Volleyballs up at Vassell. Will take it the other way for the Spurs. Castle. Nice hesitation to set up and set the offense. 5.5 to play in the third.
And you're going to see a lot of offense run through Vassell right here with Wemby out of the game.
Foul. Gobert shoves players at 2 more difficult defensive assignments. Here's Cornette over Gobert and gets it to go.
And he's done a great job. You cannot shut down, you cannot stop Jokic or Wemby, but Rudy has done a great job, and I think this has been a great playoff series defensively for him, for all the naysayers.
Reed with a nice little shake and bake move to get 2 inside with an offhand.
And Reed and Randall have really taken advantage of that middle of the floor ISO above the break where it's tough for the defense to double.
Under 5 to go here in the third. Driving is the second overall pick in the draft, Dylan Harper. Castle sets, fires, three, no. Rebound, and 11th one for Edwards, who's got a double-double. Reed by Cornette on the wing. McDaniels deflected by the ever-present Harper. And he's down and hurt. 4 on 5. It's Vassell and Cornette and Castle. And a timeout taken by San Antonio as Dylan Harper is still down. Oh, and a shot.
Now game 3, we don't like you. Though it's like that little push and shove shows me that like I'm just getting tired of you. You frustrate me a lot. I like it.
Wembanyama. And in Texas, if necessary. A couple beauties there by Wembanyama.
Wemby has literally changed every parent, every coach that has a tall kid, how they train. You now got to come off away screens and make a play as a 7'4" guy.
Shannon to the cutting Dosumu. A couple Illinois players with teammates, a miss. And it's Harper on the gallop after he was down. He's knocked away the cobwebs. He works into Dosumu, and a foul is pretty significant. As big as any individual.
27 points, career high. Let's see what he can do. He's close pick and working himself into this game.
Just getting this experience, like VJ over in Philly as well, getting this experience as a young guy to be able to play in these environments, man, in these games. You know, we heard Brian say the other day about Bronny, a regular season game, you could never get nervous for again from that standpoint because you played in the most intense possessions in the playoffs.
Double contest shots, it causes a lot of problems for offenses.
Candace, Wemby's arms are beat up.
Yeah.
Man, you can look at Wemby's arm. A lot of physicality has been pushed towards that young man.
Vassell the miss, rebound Reed, down court Shannon, the hesitation with Edwards with it. Edwards with 23 and a double-double, splits the defense, takes it in, and on the move, got the deuce.
Right there, Edwards with 2 draped all over him, still is able to get the ball to go. I love Edwards playing out of that mid-range spot. I'd like to see him get the ball. It's not as much energy to score from there.
Castle bulldozing inside. That's a foul. Playoffs, so we are harnessed in and ready to go. Series tied at 1. Castle, Wembanyama, battled it away. Shannon was there. McDaniels to Dosumu. Corner, 3, up and off by Randall. And another rebound by Wembanyama. 10 for him.
Would love to see Randall catch and attack. They're trying to get back in transition right there. That's the moment right there when you put pressure on the basket. You don't settle for that corner 3. You get that anytime.
Gobert on the bench. Shot clock at 5. Carter is in, the rookie. And Dosumu pushes Wembanyama in a foul. It goes on Terran, make it ice of his coach. And then we got Dosumu.
Injured that you're hurt or anything like that because the team is going to make a been hampered at all.
San Antonio's on a 9-2 run. Here's Dosumu. McDaniels. Shannon, a lot of athleticism on the floor for the Wolves.
Space.
He'll set, he'll jab, step, and fire. And Reed trying to knock it in. Could not. Carter had it. Stripped to the ball by McDaniels. It's Randall. Goes into the fray. Tries to drive. Blast. And for him, number 1 at the free throw line.
Randall needs to have a big game down the stretch here, and I think the big game involves with Randall being in the paint and not settling for jump shots.
Minnesota, the highest scoring fourth quarter team in these playoffs. It's Castle getting a shot blocked inside by Reed. 2 on 1. Randall to the hole. No. Picked up Wembanyama. Fouled by McDaniels.
Patience with yourself. That's an easy layup right there that he missed. He rushed it.
McDaniels with his 4th foul. Here comes Fox. Randall there into the double team. Wembanyama, and he spins and gets the
off of the floor. They're going to go to Wemby in the paint.
Randall across the lane. McDaniels into the lane. Rebound outside the lane and off.
Luxury that the San Antonio Spurs have when you know you have Wemby behind you. It allows you to be a better defender on the ball, to apply more pressure on the ball and take more chances.
Terran Shannon 3.
points that he has on the defensive end, doing a little bit of everything.
Fox with an open three. Wembanyama gets it and puts it back up and in.
Did you just see that?
Yes, that's what I've been wanting big guys to do. The ball down to where guards can strip you. Keep it up, keep it high.
Prior to the trade deadline, how much of a three-level scorer this guy is. We saw it against the Denver Nuggets as Wemby.
In the fourth, with 3 minutes gone in the fourth, Wembanyama. 30 points for him, driving inside McDaniels. Rebound by Victor Wembanyama. He grabs another one, 13 for the game, double-double for him. Carter Bryant gets it off to Fox. Wembanyama, another three, air ball. In the corner, McDaniels three. Rebound, Randall slams it.
Has to do that with Wembanyama out of the paint, contesting the three in the corner. Randall has to clean up all those rebounds in the paint.
Here's Fox, and McDaniels is on him. Fox takes it across the lane. Wembanyama had a hand on it. Dosunmu has it. Numbers the other way on the wing. Shannon glides for two. Timeout set. Here's Fox, got tangled up. Edwards picks it up to trail by one at the end of one and eventually lead by 4 points after that big deficit. The spinning shot, Harper. Nice put up.
For getting minutes during the season, but closing a lot of playoff games here down the stretch. Coach trusting the young rookie.
Edwards trying to split the D, and in traffic puts it up and in.
Well, we saw that Minnesota in this season series is a plus 43 in the fourth quarter, and number 5 right there is a big reason why. Game 1, 18 points of his 18, 11 in the fourth quarter, but also too Julius Randle. So they have closers, they have guys that's seen it before and that's been here.
Fox with that long two. Edwards with 29. Gobert on top. Cornette is the center. Edwards again surrounded. Shot clock is down to 7. Offhand McDaniels. Try to tip in his own miss. Retrieved inside. Randall can get it, but Gobert does. 12 of 31 in the playoffs.
And he knocks that free throw down, but the Timberwolves with Wemby on the bench going straight to the paint. Wemby back on the floor. Let's see what they do on the other end.
It's Fox. Wembanyama knocked away by Gobert. 6.5 to go. Second chance points. Minnesota 27-12 in that category. Edwards on top. They got McDaniels inside, defended by Wembanyama with a foul called. And it's up.
Trying to contest and gets the foul.
The adjustment we talked about with him getting the ball to the middle of the floor, so once the trap comes, he has the outlets, he can see the entire floor, and not allowing himself to be on the sideline where the defense can bottle him up.
1 point game, Wolves on an 11-4 run. Castle, cross-court corner, Champagnie three, good! Big-time stroke.
And it looked like the entire Timberwolves bench was trying to contest Champagnie on that three as he knocks it down from the corner.
I don't think they could do that. It's an offensive foul.
Here's McDaniels.
Technical foul.
Knocked away by Wembanyama, retrieved by Randall. Inside, McDaniels knocked away a fourth block, Wembanyama. And then Randall stuck with it and puts it back up and in.
Well, Randall.
That's what we're talking about with Randall, man. Get in that paint, mix it up down there, use your physicality. Don't bail them out shooting corner threes all night.
Champagnie three, rebound Edwards.
McDaniels never quits on plays. Gets up from getting screened and contests that three.
Career high 13 rebounds for Edwards. Doubled, blitzed. Randall has it. Oh. Uh-oh. Finch is over.
Well, you gotta love it. The players, the coaches, and the
And the refs, let's go.
Edwards has played as many minutes as anybody in this game.
Gotta get off of it.
Randall's gotta cut and relieve some of that help right there.
2 to fire, 3 no good. Wembanyama the rebound, and it goes out to the rookie Dylan Harper. And here comes Stephon Castle. McDaniels is on him. Screens, switches. Randall is on Castle with the shove for fall, and Castle inside Wembanyama got tangled up with Edwards, and down goes Castle again. with 13 points. Wembanyama, Gobert there. Shot clock is down to 2. Inside, wide open Harper. Great feed by Wembanyama.
Up to help to give up an uncontested layup.
Dosumu and Harper on him. The drive and a floater on the fly. Harper the rebound for San Antonio. Ahead he goes. Here's Vassell. Under 4 to go in the 4th. Timeout. San Antonio leading by 4 with the ball. Wolves have no fouls to give. Spurs have 1. Here's Wembanyama and Gobert on him. Shot clock at 5. Victor Wembanyama.
I mean, Rudy did everything.
Just over the shoulder off one leg. Little Dirk, shout out to Nowitzki in the studio.
It's 34 points for Wembanyama in this game. 3.5 to go. Screen Gobert. Corner, Reed, 3. Good.
That's it right there. Get off the ball. When they're trapping, you don't have anything. You don't have time to hold it. Get off of it and allow your teammates to do what they do.
It's Vassell, and Edwards is there. Screen. Wembanyama 3. Good!
There is
what a hit outside.
There's nothing you can do when he's knocking down the 3. 37, 3 of 5 from 3.
In the words of Dirk, hot player.
14 fourth-quarter points by Wembanyama. McDaniels spinning on Harper. Dosumu picked up by Champagnie. Reed, shot clock, 2 over Vassell, 3. Rebound, Wembanyama. Harpoons the ball inside, 15 rebounds.
Candace, you see a player who wants it, you looking at him right here, number 1, he wants the ball every possession down.
Ball knocked away, Edwards.
Plays down the stretch, this is when the stars are made in these environments, in these moments.
It's Randall. And Castle is on him. In the corner, McDaniels 3. Rebound is fought for as they grapple on the floor and picked up by Fox. And the Spurs the other way. Castle, corner. It's Vassell, 3. Rebound by Edwards. Under 2 to go. 6-point San Antonio lead. McDaniels dances down the lane, takes it in for 2.
And again, Wemby has to be careful with those 5 fouls. McDaniels operating as the screener, allowing Ant to make reads off of that play.
Castle has it. Now Dosumu is on him. Here's Vassell. Now to Fox. McDaniels is there. Shot clock down to 5. De'Aaron Fox driving on Randall. The jab, the drive, the lean, the fade, and a foul.
I mean, which foul do they want to call?
The line 0 of 1 tonight. Spurs have a foul to give. It's McDaniels. And now Reed with 18 points, driving on Champagnie. Cross court, Dosumu, the fake. He'll put up a 3. Rebound, tapped outside. Edwards lost it. Here come the Spurs. It's Castle, it's Champagnie, and Castle will try to finish. The tip-in won't go. Dosumu the rebound. Edwards the other way. Under a minute to go. Dosumu. It's Edwards, a fake. He'll put up a 3. No. Rebound, Champagnie. And Vassell, 13 of 38. Here's Wembanyama. And a foul with 20. Shawan O'Neal.
You start being in a conversation with the Mount Rushmore in your position.
In your third
you know you're
year.
special.
In your third year.
Second playoff road game.
Castle picks up the foul. Wembanyama has 6 for the Wolves. Edwards, tough shot, good! A 3.
Getting a nice out of timeout. 3.
He's down, but no whistle, and a whistle now. And a timeout.
This first deal, you got to have a quick foul to extend this game.
It's Fox from Castle. And a quick foul. as they work. Team has a different personality. And we saw a blowout in game.
Is that calm and that confident in you, and you're coming on a roll in a hostile environment. He didn't feel that this team wasn't ready for the moment, and they came out and they responded.
McDaniels 3 with a rebound by Vassell, and that'll do it.
And Kevin, Spurs coming up with a big win. Minnesota. Anthony Edwards today. Let's see how that impacts game 4.
Good point.
Going forward.